Hey, this is Jerry Cantrell, and this is Radio Sonar. Well, when you're, it's uh, titles are always tough. What do you call a book? What do you call a movie? What do you call an album? It's important, and you can make a great record and have kind of a, I don't know, maybe like a weak title or something that doesn't really pop. So yeah, I had it kind of easy with this record. I mean, there was a lot of great titles just on the track listing alone, but the one that really stood out to me was "I Want Blood." I mean, it's a real punch to the face. It's an attention grabber, and more importantly, it kind of just felt like it encapsulated the feeling of the work as a whole. So and it's a great song, as well. Well, it is good to have familiarity, So as you can probably tell throughout the four records that I've done outside of Alice, I've gone back to numerous players. Duff and I have made a couple records together. Mike and Robert and I have now made a couple of records together. Greg Pichotto and Lola Collette, and Vincent Jones. They've been on the last two records as well. Um, I like working with people that I have a relationship with, and also that we've successfully made some good music to get together. That always helps. Um, because it's not a guarantee just because uh, one artist is two artists are very highly successful on their own. If you put them together, it doesn't necessarily always isn't a guarantee that it's going to work. So I've been really fortunate in that respect, and um, you know. Uh, I thought it would be really fun to, Robin, Mike, and I had not worked together since Degradation Trip, and I think the Aussie record we worked together a little bit together on too, but um, but it had been a while, so I thought some of this music that I was coming up with when I was in the writing process, it kind of screamed both those guys, Trujillo and Borden a little bit, and of course I was going to call Duff, and Greg and Lola have been part of my both of the processes of writing and I Want Blood, and part of the touring bands as well. So of course, having them involved is familiar. Um, you know, uh, it's a new work. It didn't exist before, so you don't have to really be worried about falling into old traps or anything. The You're just trying to make a great record, and you're always starting from an absolute zero. So there's no plan. It's a blank sheet. It's a completely black room that you're entering, and you have no idea how you're going to find your way through it. And that's part of the excitement and the fun, is trying to figure that out. Try to create something out of nothing. And I've been able to take that journey with the collective that I belong to, called Alice in Chains, and I've also been able to take those journeys with other friends of mine who are world class musicians in their own right, and are part of some of the biggest bands in history. I mean, I can't really be anything other than myself. So I sound the way that I sound, whether I'm in Alice in Chains or whether I'm working outside of Alice in Chains. So, uh, you're going to hear elements of what I bring to the band, and you're going to hear those same elements probably expressed maybe in a different way in a different group of people. But I can only be me. So I don't really try to sound any way other than how I sound. And if there's familiarity to the work, then I think that's obviously a good thing. People kind of maybe have an inkling of what to expect. And also the fact that with Alice we took a lot of early chances with doing a really heavy record in Facelift and an acoustic EP with Sap, and then another heavy record with Dirt, and then another acoustic record with Jar of Flies. So we kind of set the tone that we could kind of make whatever music we want to make, and we never wanted to be lumped into like one category, and so that's something I carry with me also outside of the band. Well, right now I'm focused on this one, and this is a new place that I've never been before. It's a work that didn't exist a year ago, and now it does. And uh, I think it's really what you're trying to go for as an artist is not to repeat yourself, but also also keep it familiar enough where people who enjoyed your previous work might enjoy your new album. So uh, you can always trust in the fact that as we previously talked about, you're going to sound like you no matter, it doesn't matter if I plug into Eddie Van Halen's amp or I plug into Tony Iommi stuff or whatever. I'm not going to sound like Eddie Van Halen or Tony Iommi. I'm going to sound like me. And when I've had the experience of Eddie plugging into my amp, and he sounds like Eddie because it's in his fingers and it's in his DNA. So you don't really have to worry about if you sound enough like yourself. that's gonna that's gonna be there. But I don't think you can. I don't think you could say any one Alice in Chains record sounds like another one. And I don't think conversely, I don't think you can say any one of the four records I've done on my own sound like any one of the other records too. So you're trying to create something new that hasn't existed before. You want to be in a space where you feel like you're standing in fresh soil, but and you can feel confident in the fact that it's going to sound like you. And as long as I'm satisfied that I made a good record, and I'm excited about it, then there's probably a pretty good chance that somebody else out there will be too. Oh, of course, yes, yes. Santiago is always a place that we've enjoyed coming, and uh, all of South America, really, the countries that we've played and the cities. But Santiago is special, and it's going to be a great show. It's a hell of a lineup, and I'm just glad that we were able to put it together. I wish it was a longer run, but maybe we'll be able to come back again next year, for a more extended run through South America. Yeah, I'm not really that guy to. I'm not good at that question. I've been listening to this record a lot and playing this record a lot, and as well as other songs on tour. So when I'm in a kind of a creative process, I don't really listen to anything, other than what I'm working on. That way, I kind of keep it pure, and nothing else kind of leaks into it. So I'm not. I don't have a good answer for you there. I don't know. I just I get I speak the same, we all speak the same language. I'm not talking about phonetically, you know what I mean? But like just as human beings, we're all pretty much the same, and we all deal with the same things that life presents us. Some situations maybe, maybe some of us handle better or differently, or go through earlier or later in our race around on our trip around the racetrack. But we're all on the same track. So I mean, just I just write about things that strike me, and things that I feel strongly about. Emotions that I have, the world I live in, or things I see other people experiencing. And I try not to pull any punches. I try to put it out in its purest, rawest form. But I'm also trying to tell a story in a way that's got a little mystery and a little art to it, so that you could take it a couple of different ways. And that's always the trick in story writing, is not to spell it out too bluntly, but also to have it have like punch and impact. And so I have a certain dialect, I guess, is that's unique to me. And it's it's humbling and meaningful that other people relate to it. But it doesn't, it's not really that big of a mystery to me, because I'm writing from a very human and personal uh, uh, point of view. And as I said earlier, when I started this long-winded response to your question, we're all pretty similar. So if it's evoking an emotion in me, if it's making me feel emotional, if I'm getting some energy from it, it's a pretty good chance somebody else listened to it somewhere is going to have a similar reaction.